Now to the latest on Russia's war on Ukraine, and Russian forces have targeted key energy infrastructure in their latest wave of deadly attacks across the country. This was the scene in the capital, Kyiv, smoke billowing high into the sky. It's the result of an airstrike on a thermal power plant that claimed at least 3 lives, and seemingly part of a tactic by Moscow to try and leave a large swath of Ukraine without power and water heading into winter. Now, similar strikes on critical energy infrastructure happened in at least 2 other cities today, causing widespread blackouts or power rationing. And in Zaporizhzhia, Ukrainian officials claim Russian forces have kidnapped 2 key officials from Europe's biggest nuclear plant. So for more, let's turn to reporter Sergio Olmos. He joins us live from Kyiv. Sergio, what more can you tell us about these Russian strikes on critical infrastructure?
Well, they're occurring all around the country in Dnipro and Kharkiv, and even here in the capital, Kyiv, and they're occurring with these Iranian-supplied kamikaze drones. They're one-way drones. We refer to them colloquially as kamikaze. They're quite small. They have an engine that sounds like a lawnmower. They're packed with munitions, and they are able to evade some of the air defense systems because they have a small cross-section. And Russia has been launching them against infrastructure. They've also been hitting residential areas, killing civilians. Here in Kyiv, as I said, there was explosions very nearby last week, near where I'm standing. There's been explosions today, explosions yesterday. This is President Volodymyr Zelenskyy says that about 30% of all energy has been affected in the country. And as we head into the winter, this is a very serious issue for Ukraine, because the winters here they're quite difficult, and there's already concerns about heating, gas, electricity because of the war, especially as you mentioned with the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. That provided about 1/6 of Ukraine's electricity pre-war. That's now been taken out of the calculus because the Russians have taken it over. You'll see the street behind me is dark. That is usually brightly lit. It stays on all night usually. It's dark now. Ukraine has to conserve energy where it can. It's even having rolling blackouts in parts of the city.
Now, Sergio, Reuters news agency is reporting that Iran has agreed to provide Russian forces with missiles on top of the armed drones that Ukraine and the U.S. say it's already giving. So what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, this is incredible reporting by Reuters, exclusive to them. They are reporting now that 2 Iranian officials and 2 Iranian diplomats have told Reuters that they will be providing not just more drones, the kinds that have been hitting, as I said, infrastructure here in residential areas, but they're going to be providing them with the kinds of ballistic missiles that Russia is asking for. This is according to Reuters. The Russians had asked for more drones and those Iranian ballistic missiles with improved accuracy, an Iranian official told Reuters. And on the question of this issue of neutrality, Iran says that they are neutral. They are not taking sides in the conflict. They want an end to the war through diplomatic means. But here's what an Iranian official told Reuters. In regards to the drones and the missiles, where they are being used is not the seller's issue. We do not take sides in the Ukraine crisis like the West. They are providing the Shahed 136 drones, the kamikaze drones. They're also providing these ballistic missiles that have a range of about 300 to 700 kilometers. That would allow Russia to continue its campaign to try to hit all the infrastructure in Ukraine, the electricity, gas, and to try to constrict the lifeblood of cities like Kyiv to make it hard on civilians here. They're trying to force them into the negotiating table by making everyday conditions tough for everyday people. On the battlefield, though, Ukraine is not stopping. They're continuing moving forward, pushing Russian forces back, even as civilians are, taking the brunt of the Russian attacks.
Thanks for the latest on this, Sergio. That is reporter Sergio Olmos in Kyiv.